Right, hello, lads and lasses, and welcome back to Boys Down Under, where, yes, finally, scouting videos have come back to Boys Down Under. Oh, how I have missed these, because they're just so much more fun to do than the regular mainstream news, and I think they're more fun to enjoy and watch as well. But before we go any further, if you guys are enjoying the content, you want to help support the channel, the very best way to do so is to click that like button and click that subscribe button. You know, every little bit helps support the channel, so I thank you all for that. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, god damn, it feels like forever since I've had a player to scout. I was mid-exams for Yuki Kobayashi when those rumours dropped, and those rumours aren't now concrete. And I'll tell you what, Ange has actually shown a real interest in Kobayashi's signing. Well, no shit, he's the manager, but normally he never hypes up the new signings. And I'd say he has to an extent with Yuki Kobayashi, so do expect big things from the lad. Maybe not straight away, but certainly I'd say heading into the start of next season, the back end of this season, start of next season, I think we can be seeing Yuki Kobayashi in and around the first team a lot more than we will straight away. But anyways, Celtic's newest Japanese star is not the focus of this video. It is instead Canada's current starting right back, Alistair Johnston. 24 years old, currently playing in the MLS for Montreal Football Club. Now, Johnston actually, surprise, surprise, would not be Celtic's first ever Canadian. That is irrelevant though. I just thought I'd put that in there because I thought originally he would, but obviously he isn't. There was a goalkeeper we had a while back, made like 250 appearances for Celtic. I forgot the name, Keenaway or something like that. Don't hate on me. Anyways, back to the video. What really matters is who this bloke is and why Celtic want to sign him. Well, as we all know, Josip Juranovic, he is currently Celtic's first choice right back, and he is like a king penguin, swimming around in the Antarctic waters, the best of the best. But then you have a pack of killer whales of orcas swimming and circling Manchester United, Liverpool, Bayern Munich, who else? Even Arsenal, I don't know exactly, but eventually one of these orcas will catch him and make him dinner. But then, what happens after that? The process starts again. Another young penguin lad grows up, he matures, but those orcas, they will just come back and get him, and the process continues and continues and continues, and there you have it, the worst analogy ever known to man, trying to link footballing right backs to the circle of life in Antarctica. So absolutely ignore that because I thought that was going to be much funnier than it was. But anyways, Alistair Johnston, what I'm trying to say is he would come in as a replacement for Josip Juranovic, albeit not like for like. He isn't going to be Josip Juranovic. But after doing a bit of research and watching some of his moments against Belgium and in the MLS this season, I think he's a player the fans will be able to get behind and want to see at Celtic. Now, I know a lot of people like stats, myself included, so I'll skim through them quickly before we get back into the strengths and weaknesses. From right back at this season, Johnston has made 33 appearances for Montreal, and he has had 8 direct goal contributions, 4 goals and 4 assists. So those are pretty good numbers for someone who mainly stays at right back. However, there's also the more in-depth stats that you don't just get on the front page of Transfer Market. 77 clearances in all games. Sorry, 77 clearances over the season, 13 interceptions, and 24 chances created. The Americans are absolutely obsessed with chance creation and expected goals. So if you hear those stats, expect it to be from the MLS because they love to go into that. Anyways, enough of the stats because anyone can just look at a sheet of paper, look at the stats, and make a judgment on a player right there and then. Let's look at the lad and his strengths and weaknesses. Now, as you can see on screen, we have him up, little graphic for you guys. Physical player. Now, while Johnson isn't big and physical in the sense of Tony Ralston, who is an absolute bricky, he doesn't shy away from slide tackles, getting dirty, putting in some elbow grease and a physical contest and a physical battle. Something that you need to have in Scotland if you want to succeed as a player. If you're not amazingly talented with the ball at your feet, you're going to need to be a physical specimen or at least a physical player. Now, this is an aspect that Josip Juranovic has been criticised for, especially in Europe, abstaining from getting in and getting dirty and, you know, putting feet in and tackles in where Most players wouldn't, so yeah, that's been a criticism of Juranovic, but you wouldn't get that with Johnston. Also, he's capable on the dead ball, especially from corners. He would be able to provide Celtic with a good outlet there, so if we are in need of a quick corner, he's the man that goes out on the right-hand side. I'm sure he'd be able to just quickly get the ball, chuck it in, or go for short. So that's good. Also, very important, he is competitive, and that sort of ties into the physical battle. But Johnston really is a warrior and a competitor. He puts his head down, he gets on with it, and that is a quality you need to success in Ange's setup. Not no nonsense to the sense where you can't have fun, but no nonsense to the sense where you don't let anything get in your way. You don't take shit from no one. Now, I can't really criticize him too much, but there are some weaknesses, and he is still a bit rough around the edges. By no means is he the refined product. I'm not trying to state he was at any point in the video. At 24 years old, especially, no one is expected to be the ultimate player they can be. He certainly has developed heaps over in Canada from being a young lad, but I have no doubt if he really wanted to make that next step and take the next step in his career, coming to Glasgow, coming to Celtic, without a doubt, our track record proves it, we could turn him into a real player if he's willing to put the work in. And I think that's very evident in Ange's setup. You look at players like Matt O'Reilly, you look at players like Rio Atate, players who have come in, Jota even, Leo Labata, players who have come in a bit rough around the edges, but they have a lot of qualities, really refining them because they have been putting the effort in and the work in. Greg Taylor, prime example. I can't believe I almost forgot him. And yeah, no, but that's all I can really criticize him on. You know, he isn't a top player. He isn't average. He's good. He is a good right back. And I think that's as far as I could go. I can't say he's great, you know, but he is a good lad. And that leads us into whether he'd be a worthwhile signing for Celtic. Now, firstly, let's look at the finances, because obviously football is a business, so we have the finances. Now, financially, Celtic are a regenerative club. Money we make is invested back into the club, and we keep improving those figures, so we make more money, and we can invest more money into the club to make even more money. It's just a regenerative process. Regenerative process. But with a £5 million asking fee for this lad, that sure is a lot of money. Money that I don't honestly believe he is worth, you know. However, that could be subsidized considering he does enter the final year of his contract in January. So maybe that might go down to 3 million, which I believe is a much more suitable and reasonable fee for the lad. However, I'm also under the impression that if Josip Juranovic goes in January, which I believe right now could be a coin flip, we definitely need a right back to come in. Not because we're losing Josip, well, yes, because we're losing Josip Juranovic, but we don't have a second right back after that. We only have Ralston. We need at least 2 right backs at the club, preferably 3. But 2 certainly does seem to be the magic number right now. And I said earlier, Alistair Johnston isn't going to be a like-for-like replacement with Juranovic, but it's more of a depth type of signing because he does possess qualities going forward and defensively. He's very all-rounded in terms of a wing-back. And to be honest, I am absolutely torn on this one. I think I really can't make a decision of whether we should go for Alistair Johnston, you know. We definitely need a right back if Juranovic goes, but I think we can target a lot better for what his price tag is out right now. You know, and if Juranovic does go in January, we do have that little bit of extra money. He'll hopefully bring in, being realistic, hopefully anywhere above £18 million. I hope it's over 20, but 18 million I'd say is like probably the baseline ballpark fee. We will need a speedy replacement, and if Alistair's available, he's not a bad signing. I just think if we can do better, we should do better. You know, it'd be a much better situation for the club naturally if we know Juranovic is going to leave in the summer, and that gives us months to sign a player. But, you know, he's not, right now, in this middle of the season, Juranovic is a World Cup. He's not going to know where he's at, where his future is after the World Cup. A mammoth offer could come in, just out of the blue. You know, you don't have, it's very, very uncertain times right now in terms of football transfers. So, it's going to be hard. And the other point I want to make is that in the January transfer window, comparative to the summer transfer window or winter transfer window for us here in Australia, it is much harder to make signings then than it is in the big transfer window. So if Alistair Johnston is available, it just seems like it's a safe signing. I think he's a very safe signing, and I think he'd fit in at Celtic. But we're not a safe team. Ange has demonstrated he's not a safe kind of guy. He will push the limits to win matches. So I think I'm uneasy on it. I'm 50-50. Let me know what you guys think, but that is all from me. So if you guys did enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, let in the comments. Let me know in the comments below, like I said, your thoughts on this deal. Would you want to see him at Celtic? But until next time, hail, hail.